Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Roman Real Style, and today I'm going to be talking about thermal underwear, hence why I am in my thermal underwear. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. By doing that, these videos will be delivered right to your inbox. In addition, if you like the video, if you find it useful, go ahead and click on the like button below. This lets us know if we're doing a good job, and feel free to send me suggestions if you think we can do a better job. And if I go through this too fast, or if you want to learn more about what I'm talking about, go to the link below. I always link you to a useful article, one that is going to support what we just talked about here in the video. Okay, so thermal underwear, it's the key component in the base layer. And in case you don't know, there's usually 3 levels of dressing whenever you're dressing for cold weather. You want the base layer, you want your intermediate insulation layer, and you want the outer protective layer. Now, we're not going to talk about these two. We're going to talk about the base layer and the key component, which is your thermal underwear. Now, with your thermal underwear, you're looking for 4 properties. Those 4 properties are, number 1, it needs to wick. Number 2, it needs to have loft and insulate you from the cold. Number 3, it needs to have stretch and to fit you properly. And number 4, bacteria resistance. And this is more applicable, probably the least important, applicable to hunters or to men that are going to be outdoors for a long period, or women to a long period of time, and you just don't want a bacteria buildup. So let's talk about the most important property, in my opinion, which is the wicking properties. So you want to avoid cotton. Cotton just isn't going to be able to wick. It does to an extent. I mean, and we're talking relative, here. So if you're wearing a cotton shirt, it does wick, but not when you're wearing 2 or 3 layers on top of it and it's cold outside and you're sweating up a storm because, let's say, you're cross-country skiing, or you're snowboarding down the face of a mountain, or you're out hunting and you're hiking so that you can get in a good position for a shot. No, you need something which is designed specifically to wick moisture. And that's going to be a lot of synthetic fabrics out there that are specifically structured and sewn in a way so that they do wick away the moisture, or wool. Wool does a pretty good job, and there's a company called Icebreaker out there. When it comes to synthetic thermal underwear, I like Carol Davis Sportswear. She makes some, just in my opinion, the best thermal underwear out there in the world. But what you want to look for, again, are making sure that it has the properties to wick away moisture. And the most natural one you're going to find out there is wool, or some type of wool blends. Companies like REI, they specialize in this, and you can go, speak with one of their reps. But again, the wicking properties, and it's important because if you get too much moisture built up and you've got layers and layers and it can't wick away and can't dissipate into your insulation layer, then what's going to happen is you're going to get just this layer of sweat, and you're just going to get wet underneath it, right next to your skin. And if you get any type of cool air that comes in, or you're going to maybe open up, all of a sudden your temperature is going to drop, and it's going to drop fast because you're going to have this instant evaporation. You may even get ice on your skin, and you do not want that to happen, especially if, again, you're out and you're an extreme hunter and you're miles away from, you may find that all of a sudden you can't move, and that is a recipe for disaster. So wicking properties. Loft is the number 2 thing you want to be looking for. And loft is where the fabric is sewn in a way that it actually traps in air and keeps in the heat and keeps out the lack of heat, which is cold. So if it's got good loft, and it will actually retain heat. So a lot of that waffle stuff that you go and look at a pair of $15, $25 a union suit at Walmart, that doesn't have any loft, and that is not going to keep you warm. It may, if it's 50 degrees outside and you're sitting, I don't know, at a University of Michigan football game, and you're not moving, team's maybe not doing that well here. No. In any case, if you're up moving though, and you're gaining a sweat, it is not going to retain the heat. And again, it's not going to wick, it's not going to have any loft. Don't even go for it. The third thing is going to be stretch. And again, this is where cotton falls down. It doesn't really have any, much stretch to it. You want something that's got a 4-way stretch. So Malden Mills, they make something called Polar Tech Power Stretch, and that one's an awesome property. That's what actually this is, and this is, again, Carol Davis Sportswear. But you may find that wool actually has some stretching properties, which is what you would be looking for. So Icebreaker, another good company. You want to have some stretch, because if it fits you poorly, what you're going to get are these hot spots. And that's where it's just going to rub your body wrong. So if you're out hunting and you're moving a lot, or you're out running and you're wearing this thermal underwear, you're going to start getting red spots, and that's not bad. I mean, you're just going to sweat more and you're going to get irritation. It's going to hurt, and you're not going to want to wear it. In addition, if you're trying to layer up, you may find that just the lack of movement, it becomes really uncomfortable. So this is why I love stretch, especially because, with this, it allows me to wear clothing that fits really close. I just showed you I've got a very small armhole here, so it allows me to wear other types of clothing over this and not have any type of resistance or any type of issues like that. Finally, bacteria resistance. And this is if you're going to be wearing this next to the skin for a long time. And what I'm talking about are days and weeks at a time. We naturally can have bacteria buildup. We take care of this because most of us shower every single day. But when you don't and you can't shower every day, you just don't want a bacteria buildup. I can tell you that, having been in situations where I would wear this for a week, because of the synthetic properties that resist bacteria, I didn't have a problem. So again, make sure it wicks, make sure it has loft and it retains heat, make sure it stretches, and make sure it resists bacteria. To get all four of those, you're going to probably pay a bit more than $15 to $25. Expect to pay maybe sometimes in the upwards of well over $100, but I can tell you it's worth it. I've had this particular pair for about 10 years, and I have gotten a lot of wear out of them. Because when you buy thermal underwear, you want performance. You don't want to skimp on it. It's the most important layer. Well, maybe next to the outer layer. You can argue there, but those are the things you want. And a bonus is to actually go for something that's got a very slick outer surface. This way you can wear it under clothing and it won't get caught in anything. But all right, those are the 4 properties that you need to be looking for, and look for them when you go out there and buy your quality men's thermal underwear. Take care. This has been Antonio Centeno with Real Men, Real Style. Bye-bye.